Hi there, everyone. Welcome to day 16 of our Embody Rise 21-day Ascension Support Series. I'm your host, Dawn Del Vecchio. Happy to be here with you today. Today, our theme is Let's Get Physical. For those of you who are old enough, you know there was a Olivia Newton-John song by that name, which is what inspired this. But what truly inspired this Ascension Support tool or method is what my experience has been in the field of working with people in real time, in the real physical world. So, some of you may know I started out on my spiritual journey in 1984, a long time ago. We didn't have the internet back then. When we wanted to get together, we got together. We got together in the physical. That was the only real option. I mean, there was dial up telephone. We talked on the phone too. We didn't even have cell phones or anything back then. So, my journey began in a women's group that became a ceremonial group that began to do bigger ceremonies for the community, where we were bringing people together in sacred space for transformational healing and uplifting experiences. And nowadays, the internet has its real benefits, Zoom meetings and ways to gather and to be for teachers, guides, mentors, channelers, etc. There's a lot we can leverage to that end. And there is nothing like the power of being together in the physical. Now, at some point, when we're more evolved as a species and we're less physically dense and we're more probably speaking telepathically, that may be different. And it may be that we're connected, but not through technology, especially technology that's full of frequencies that are actually not harmonic for our bodies and full of spyware to figure out how to market to us and sell us stuff and all of that. But that aside, what we're talking about here today is being really in physical sacred space with each other. So, since I would say 1986, I have participated in, facilitated, coordinated, and enjoyed being in all kinds of sacred spaces with small groups, large groups, very intimate ongoing groups, one-off experiences, etc. From workshops to yoga festivals to my own retreats, my own ongoing closed groups, etc. And I can say for sure, and those of you who've been to these different kinds of events will know that there's great power in that kind of experience. So, many of the women that I have mentored who have initiated as priestesses find that one of the calls that they have is to begin to facilitate groups with other women and or women and men where they are facilitating sacred experiences, and that can be anything from like sound healing to new moon prayer circles, to can be anything, to things like what I do, which are week-long curated intimate experiences. So I just want, and when I say intimate, what I mean is small group. I don't mean it in a sexual way. I mean intimate, heart to heart, eyes to eyes, where you are seen and can see each other, and you are met by those who have the capacity to meet you at the level you want to be seen at. So I just want to touch on a few of these, and then we'll tune in to see if there's a transmission, a channeled message for today. So in our modern era, despite how many ways we can be virtually connected through all the different social media, etc., and Zoom, whatnot, the yoga retreat movement, of course, many of you may be aware that the yoga retreat movement is huge, as are these big festivals, whether it's like really massive, like a Burning Man kind of thing, or smaller things like lightning in a bottle, or yoga festivals. There's yoga festivals in quite a few places in the world, music festivals as well, music cruises. I mean, many things, cruises where there's metaphysical topics, etc. Many, many ways you can avail yourself of being in groups. Now, you may or may not love those very big events. I personally, it's not my sweet spot. It's just not. Everybody's wired differently. My sweet spot is small, intimate groups, connecting with and curating experiences for 8 to 15-ish people, mostly women, although there will be, in the future of when I'm recording this, collaboration with my husband who works with men. Um, Now, those kinds of experiences allow us to go very, very deep if the group is curated carefully, which is one of my it's one of my skill sets, I would say, is to curate small group retreat experiences that offer maximal transformational and support potential. And I've done that here where I live in the American Southwest. I've done it in Sedona when I used to live there. I've done it in Thailand and Bali and Egypt. These are the main places, I think. Yeah. And so this has been a potent experience for me, and I would like to extend this information to you because it's really more what I can speak about than I can about the power of festivals, for example. It's just not my, like I said, I've been to some of them, but it's not my expertise. So the tool today is really to encourage you to find community, small community. Find ways that you can meet in the physical with those of a like mind and heart, those with whom you can sit in meditation, dive deep into a plant medicine ceremony, walk on the earth and commune with trees, step into the ocean to work with the ocean beings for higher light frequencies to be more available. Open stargates, clear earth grids for higher frequency. There are many ways that small groups create intense potency because it's easier to focalize 8 to 15 people than it is 40, 50, 60, 80, 500, 5,000, right? Yeah, you're going to have those very focalized high leaders in that place, light leaders. And then you're going to have the hangers on and the partiers and the everything else. Nothing wrong with that. We all have our experiences and there's great joy in that. But when you have a small container, 2, 5, 8, 15, and you collectively choose, or one of you facilitates, to create a devoted, heartful experience, whatever it is, a breathwork session, guided meditation, and so on, you can really kick up your 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 spiritual evolution, I want to say your ascension journey. Basically, it's like riding a really good wave. You're riding along, we're riding these waves of ascension, right? We're having challenges, we're getting new tools, we're applying new tools, we're releasing old stuff, we're doing shadow work, we're getting more free. When you have one of these kind of potent small group container retreats, you can have it's like the big wave. The big wave, you've caught it perfectly and you're riding it into shore, and you leave that kind of experience like really in a new way, really in a new, powerful way. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And what I'm going to do is I'll leave a link below to my upcoming retreat as I record this. Now you may watch this at some point later after the retreat, but you can click through to one of those and you'll find other information. So with that in heart, let's tune in and see if there's any guided message for today. I'm going to actually take a sip of my herbal tea first. Okay, let's see if there's anything here for us. Ooh, yes. So the mothers come again. So, and my eyes are open because I can really feel the strength of them here. So again, for those of you who may not know, I have a dedicated temple here. It's a 16-foot diameter yurt that is a sacred space for the divine feminine energetics, and the mothers who are there, they're there. They're not anywhere in place, right? But in that field of energy that I've carefully cultivated over time, and that they have really guided me to develop, we have a space for transmissions to come through really easily. And it's just on the other side of my property from where I am here. So now that I've clarified that, let me go in and see what they have to say for us today. Yes, we are the mothers, and we are so pleased to be here with you today. And we represent a collective of many of what you would know as goddesses. And we are a field of energy that has touched down at different points in what you experience as your historical time and what you experience as different places and cultures around the world. Ultimately, at the highest level, we are here to emit a frequency of higher consciousness to assist humanity in your own evolution or your remembrance, we could say, of your multidimensional selves. An ascended state where you recognize that there is ultimately only one of you and that the extension of love is the only thing that is real. Now, in our capacity as what you would call Divine Mother Ray or the mothers, we offer nurture and support. Are there those archetypal goddesses, those great mother goddesses who are seen more in their destroyer aspect? Absolutely, there are. Are those frequencies at play now in the sense that all that had been unloving in your realm is unraveling? Sometimes destructively so, often slowly, because those frequencies cannot come with you where you are headed. When you live on a planet that is in a higher frequency, the lower frequential realms simply cannot abide. And so there is also experience of, we could say, destruction. And Kali steps forth, the goddesses Kali and Durga, the goddess Pele from Hawaii. We are those beings who, in our capacity to destroy, make way for new growth. So keep in heart that there is no bad or good, there is only the transformation. And now steps forward the great goddess Isis, who facilitates the priestesses to awaken and remember sovereign light, sovereignty of being, sovereignty of mind. Yes, I, Isis, come forward to remind you of who you truly are. You are eternal divine beings having a temporary experience in form. You are sovereign, and yet you are one with all of life. I step forward to call forth those of you who resonate and feel the truth in this message to rise up and stand in your light as divinity having a temporary experience. And along with me are those energies of love, compassion, mercy, understanding, inner standing, expansive awareness. As Isis, speaking to you through this being now, this is a ray of consciousness that offers frequency upgrades for the divine feminine consciousness within all beings. That would be women and men. And for those who identify with the mantle of priestess in particular, this is a call to you and for you to stand, to rise, to no longer hide your light under a bushel. This is the time you came for. There are many on this planet who have walked incarnations as priestesses in order to prepare for this time now. So we would like to extend a clarifying message around the priestess and the role of the priestess in this time. There is a quality of priestess that is about holding the field. Much as a midwife pays attention to the birthing mother, pays attention to the heartbeat of the baby, pays attention to the outer circumstances which may be influencing or impacting the mother's experience, the midwife is a space holder. There are things and interventions she must sometimes perform in order to ensure a safe passage for the baby and the mother. But a lot of her energy has to do with holding the field. And when there is more than one midwife available at a birth, there is the capacity to hold the field powerfully. This dear one, who is the conduit through this transmission, had 4 women at her birth, 3 of them serving as midwives. These 4 women held a field in which she was able to move through a 24-hour birthing period and provide safe passage for her child to enter this realm. Well, my dear ones, this is in no small sense what the role of the priestess is, regardless of what your specific service is, whether you are a teacher, a healer, a leader, a silent frequency holder, a light worker, a grid worker, a meditator, a mama, a wife, a child, matters not. Those roles are specific to you. The priestess mantle, however, regardless of all of those, is a field holder, a holder of the field of light that supports the birth of new earth. From that position, you will then be guided based on your skills, abilities, your talents, your soul incarnational plan to serve in specific ways. There is no small service. We wish to remind you that not all are designed or intended to have a platform, a public platform. There is no small service. Your service may be saying the right thing to the right person at the right place at the right time. Your service may be to offer creative expressions in art or sculpture or fabric or dance that raise the frequency in support of New Earth. So we would like to encourage each of you who finds resonance with this message, with this series, that if you are called to the priestess path, yes, indeed, this is a call to answer. Not because you have to change your career or end your marriage or become something new, but simply because you would like to remember and reclaim those skills and abilities that you cultivated over other incarnations when you served in temples as a priestess. Today, the temple is the earth. Today, the temple is, as it has always been, your very heart. We thank you for receiving this transmission and will return at another time. Woo! Okay. As always, may this serve you well. Many blessings. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you on the next transmission. Bye for now.